Part of me is nervous doing this. Part of me is nervous because I really feel out of my depths. I was just expecting to do some reviews of LGBT books because Pride Month, I'm gay, yada yada yada, showcase works for an underrepresented group. And then last Sunday happened. I don't feel I need to explain why. You should know what I'm already talking about. And part of me just wanted to avoid doing any of these books just so I don't have to talk about it. I mean, even though this event has affected me deeply, I'm just a Z-list YouTube book reviewer who makes stupid jokes. It's not like I can add anything that's already been said this week. But I'm going to do this anyway. One, because I already stated I'm reviewing this book, and I don't want to go back on my word. But two, now is the time to talk about these issues. The worst thing I or anyone can do after what happened in Orlando is to not talk about it, to not address the issues, to act like I don't exist, to stay safe. F*** that pile of disgusting bullshit. I already spent 18 years of my life trying to stay safe, and it bloody sucks. I'm not hiding, and as we see, a lot of other people aren't. We won't let hate define our lives. We won't let hate kill what is beautiful. We won't let hate destroy what we love, because love will always win. Now we go to our regularly scheduled program, where I talk about a book of someone dealing with his gender identity in a silly manner. Because that's what I do. Because I'm the bookworm. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and every LGBTQIA alike, my name is David Popovich, aka the Bookworm, and welcome to Bookworm Reviews. Sit back and relax as we dive into I Am Jay by Chris Bean. I Am Jay follows Jay. Not Jay the name, not Jay short for Jason, Johnny, or Joffrey. No, our hero's name is the literal letter J, and Jay hates everything, especially the party his friend Melissa dragged him to. I hate parties, Jay has said, and I hate everyone at this school. Well, aren't you just a barrel of laughs? Well, Jay's anger is justified, cause everyone at school keeps calling Jay a lesbian. It had happened 1,000 times before. Dyke, aggressive, AG, butch, whatever the names, none of them fit. He considered the possibility briefly when he first realized he was in love with Melissa a few years back, but he never felt like a lesbian. You see, Jay used to stand for Jennifer, and on the outside, Jay was born a female, but as you may have picked up on in the pronouns, that's not what Jay feels. Jay is transgendered, which is a topic I've never covered before on this show. I've talked a lot about gays and I think only one lesbian story. I gotta change that. But in light of today's social unrest, the T in LGBT has sparked national debate, and one that's much harder to express than gays, lesbians, and bisexuals because, well, there's just too much misinformation about trans. And that is what I Am Jay is about, trying to give us a viewpoint to understand what transgender people have to go through. Jay is a boy, but Jay completely hates everything about himself. In Jay's head, he was nothing. In Jay's head, he was just a head, floating, trying to forget he had body parts he hated. Doing everything he can to not look like a girl, like always wearing 3 shirts to cover his boobs. God, he hated those things. Every single day, he thought about destroying them. When he first began to develop at 13, Jay slept on his stomach every night, trying to stop their growth. But the breasts were determined. Even with 2 sports bras and the extra shirts, you could see their roundness, their adamant shout, I am a girl. Because Jay is in high school and Jay can't express who he is, everyone sees Jay as a freak to make fun at by calling him a lesbian. All because he doesn't do what a girl is supposed to do. They never know how gentle Jay was inside, and how scared, how he wanted to do the right thing, but often couldn't. They never know how confusion and cruelty change people to make them hard, the way the deepest cuts make the toughest scabs. As long as he could remember, Jay had been taunted, tested, and mistreated for the way he looked. And that's why Jay hates everything and everyone but his best friend Melissa, who he is in love with, but she only sees him as a friend and is more interested right now in this smart-ass bookworm who thinks he's so cool for being misunderstood. He's a fake, Jay tried to psychically transmit to Melissa. Can't you see that? A total ass! Wait.
You're a phony! Hey, this guy's a great big phony! You're a great big phony, you know that? Phony!
Oh my god, Jay's a transgender Holden Caulfield. That makes sense! I know that sounds weird. For those of you not in the know, I hate Holden Caulfield from Catcher in the Rye. I think he's just a whiny little brat who can't learn how to do adults, always complaining how everyone is a fake around him, and how no one can understand the crawling in his skin behind blue eyes, and he can't wake up. Blech. But for Jay, it works. And yes, it's because he's trans. Jay lives in a world where no one understands him. The girl he loves thinks Jay is... Jay? Melissa started again. I'm not a lesbian. Jay sat up straight in bed. He screamed at her inside his head, louder than anything he ever screamed before. I'm not either! While his parents... We hope she changes, Carolina said. Until then, we wait. She's not going to change, Manny answered, his voice almost a growl. We accept her, Carolina had said. What else can we do? No! Manny said, sounding angry again. You're not listening to me. We're the parents. Jenny can't be, and we don't have to accept anything. We pay the bills in this house. No one understands Jay. Unlike Caulfield, who's a rich-ass white punk who, again, can't understand how to adult, even though it is so obvious even when I read the book back in high school. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. I just have nothing but hate for that character. But for Jay, it's because of everyone misunderstanding him that he finally goes on his journey. A dyke, Jay stormed. My parents think of me as a dyke, and Melissa thinks of me as a monster. Well, maybe that's what I'll be then. I'll become a real freak. Genuine freak. Jay starts to look into becoming a boy, and we follow his progress as we see Jay finally get accepted for who he is. He had passed. He had flirted. He had passed. He had spoken to strangers. He had passed. He had bound his breast. He had passed. He had passed. He had passed. To dealing with all the issues of people misclassifying Jay as a lesbian or intersex, parents who don't understand him, falling in love, and all the standard stuff that comes with coming-of-age stories. Before Sunday, I was going to say this book was good, but may not be everyone's cup of tea. Not because of the issues, but there are points where the story gets a bit repetitive. I think there are like 3 times we see Jay run away from home. Jay's Caulfield view of the world can be just as annoying, and some of the characters don't have much to drive the story forward. There's even a subplot with his friend who likes to cut herself, but it's talked about, but never talked about, if you know what I mean. But after Sunday, I went through my thoughts about the book, and whatever you think about the stuff surrounding the story, the center is pure gold. Hate thrives on ignorance. When we let others define those who are different, it's stories like these that work to show, to educate, to remind people that, yes, we're different, but we're still human, going through the same crap everyone goes through. Who the hell am I? How can I explain myself to you if I can't explain myself to me? Right now, trans are one of the most misinformed groups in the world, and we need to make sure their voices are heard. When people are throwing disgusting headlines like these that make us think of them as another, when we should be seeing them as equals, we need books like these to remind us, to show the world the human that is in everyone. I Am Jay gets a huge recommendation from me, because in times like these, we need these voices to sound off so that hate can die. What about you, Internet? What's your opinion about I Am Jay? A special shout out to Sarah Acosta for suggesting the book. Thank you for your support. If you have a book you would like me to review, let me know in the comments below. Next week, we will be taking a look at the lives of 2 people with one name. Till next time, have a nice and amazing day.